Hello, so this is 2024 GCE paper, chemistry, science paper 2, and this was the question B5 that I want to discuss with you. So this is falling under the more concept, and I guess you know how to answer questions that get to fall under this particular topic. The question is saying 10.5 grams of sodium hydroxide were reacted with dilute sulfuric acid according to the equation. So this is the given equation. This is the equation that we are given. The first question is saying balance the given equation. How then do we balance this given equation? So for us to balance this equation, the first thing you need to do, you check here. How many atoms of oxygen are we having this side? How many are they? So we've got 4 plus 1 here, 5. This side, we've got 4 plus 1 there, 5. So oxygen is what? Balanced. We go to hydrogen. Hydrogen this side 2. Hydrogen this side 3. So what are we going to do for us to balance this? You analyze the question. Okay, sodium 2, sodium 1. So you say, okay, let me put a 2 here for sodium. So sodium 2, sodium 2. Hydrogen 2 plus 2, 4. Here you're just having what? 2. So you also put a 2 here so that it becomes a 4. So this is a 4. Oxygen 2 plus 4, 6. 2 plus 4, 6. Have you seen? So just by balancing sodium, we've also balanced the equation. So this is what you are supposed to do. As simple as this. We now move on to the next question. This question is saying use the balanced equation to calculate the mass of sodium sulfate formed. So we want to use this balanced equation to calculate the mass of what? Sodium sulfate. Where is sodium sulfate? This is the mass of sodium sulfate that is formed. So what are we given? We are given the mass of sodium hydroxide. And here we are told to calculate the mass. So those of you that have been following me, especially those of you under my online lessons, I always tell you that whenever you see such a question, this is mass to mass. You are given mass, you are told to calculate mass. So what are you going to do here? You get this equation. You get the equation. Have you seen? You say, what is the mass for sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide, you say, okay, sodium hydroxide, which is like this. So this is 1 times 1. So you get 1. This is how many atoms are there? 1. Times mass number, 16. You get 16. For sodium, it is how many? 1. Times mass number, 23. So what are we getting there? 23. So when we add everything, what are we going to get? We are going to get 0 remainder 1. So we've got what are we having here when we add everything? So when we add everything, what are we going to get? We're 2, 3 plus 1, 4. So we are going to have a what? A 40. That is a 40 that we are having when we add everything. We get 40. The question is saying use a balanced equation. There is a what? There is a 2 here. So this 40 times 2. So we are saying 2 times what? Times the 40 that we've calculated. We equate to what? We equate to this thing that we are told to find now. So the mass for what? Sodium sulfate now. Sodium sulfate. So I guess you've seen now I've calculated this. I go to sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate is like this. This is how sodium sulfate is. How many atoms? 4 times mass number 16. What are you getting there? 64. This is sulfur. 1 times 32. What are you getting there? 32. We go to sodium. How many atoms? 2 times 23. What are you getting? 46. We get our calculator. We add there. So when we add everything, what are we going to get? When we add everything, what are we going to get? This is 12, 2 remainder 1. This is 10, 13, 14. So we are going to get 142. So 142 grams. Since here we don't have like a 2 No. So we just put 142 grams. You know that this is of what? Sodium sulfate. You know that that is for sodium sulfate. This one, you know, it is for what? Sodium hydroxide. We are given the mass for sodium hydroxide, which is what? 10.5. So I put my 10.5 here. 10.5 grams. Then I equate to what? X. This is the X that I want to calculate. It is at this point now where I'm going to do this. I'm going to say this is 80. 80 times X, I'm going to get 80 what? 80X, which is equal to. From there now, what is the next thing that I'm going to do? So I get my calculator. I multiply there. I say this 142. So I say 142 times 10.5. 10.5. What answer am I getting? So the answer that I'm going to get in this case, the answer that I'm getting, you get your answer. So the answer that I'm getting is I'm getting 1491. I divide both sides by 80. I also divide there by 80. This and that gets to cancel. Then I say X is now equal to. So if I divide by 80, what am I getting? The answer that I'm getting is 18. So I say 18 point what? 18.63. This is what I'm getting. 6375 grams of what? Sodium sulfate. So sodium what? Sodium sulfate. This is what I'm getting. So this is the what? This is the answer. This is what you are supposed to do. These are certain things that you need to get and understand. So you can round off this to two decimal places where you say 18.64. It is just one and the same thing. Like this, you are done. The question here is saying, the last question, what type of equation is involved in the equation? What type of what? What type of reaction is involved in the equation? So for you to answer this particular question, what type of reaction? You look at the equation that is there. We've got, this is a base reacting with an acid to form a salt plus water. Whenever you've got an equation like this, where a base reacting with an acid to form a salt plus water, that type of an equation is called a neutralization equation. It is called what? A neutralization equation. So it is called a neutralization equation or reaction. This is what you are supposed to get. Thank you so much for watching this particular video. Hope you've gotten one or two things. Those of you that would like to join us, we offer tuitions in mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology, as well as English language. You can WhatsApp me on this number. This is my number. I'm here to help you get a distinction in these subjects that I'm doing. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to like this particular video.